undergraduate as well as the postgrad program.
Okay.
In
Two of
the
my
area
friends
of
were there.
marketing.
Two of my friends were there. Just hold on 1 minute. Just hold on 1 minute.
Okay, I think we can start
Hello,
now. Those
I'm
who
on the
can
Zoom
who
meeting.
comes in later,
Short
just
one.
let them in. Anyway, as part of the icebreaker session, can you please key in or in the chat? Yeah, just key in your name and basically your background. Are you a teacher, businessman? Simple one, so that everybody can have a look and we get a bit of ice breaking there. All right, can you please do that before we start? Okay, let's see. Virtual classmate, okay. Moon Mansur, yeah, my former staff with Sapura Energy. Welcome, welcome Moon. Adrina, yes. Dr. Parthiban, my role model. For probably one day I'll have that same thing at the back of my name, full-time trainer. Freelance lecturer, I don't know, but maybe full-time trainer.
I used to do in UTM, UIA, UM, OUM, UCSI, AU, quite number.
Right.
Then I stopped because they shortchanged the students. So I thought.
Hi.
Yazman,
Welcome, welcome.
you have guests waiting in the waiting room.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the man.
I thought I've already disabled the. Okay.
Well, not bad. 15, some 15 people are not bad, Yazman. You are really popular.
Most of them my classmates.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
How long is this session?
Sorry?
Yazman?
What?
How long is this session? How long?
1 hour.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, I think let's start because if not, I'll run out of time. Okay. All right. Thank you for writing down your particulars, just as a simple icebreaker, so you can see that you have people from various backgrounds, but there are a few lecturers, trainers here, so added pressure for me.
Sorry, I can't write. I'm driving.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't write while you're driving, Pujo. Don't get into an accident on my behalf. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's start now, guys. Just have a look at the screen. Everybody is able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can see some people they talk when they need to. Some people basically just need to talk. I think that's what it means, right?
I think you meet all, then you speak when you want us to speak. Then you will unmute lah. That's better because you don't hear other noise outside.
All right, sir. So whenever you want to speak, just unmute, yeah. Unmute yourself. So, all right. Okay. Can you hear the music? All right. Oh, communication among human beings has always been, part of us since the day we were created. It is as natural as breathing to all of us. Even those who can't speak, who can't talk, they still communicate, right? Remember when we first came to the world, the first cry that we made as a baby is the first time ever that we made a sound in this world. How often have we gone to events, parties, and the MC will ask us, hey, guys, how are you doing? Are you happy? Can you make a louder noise? So just to test your microphone, can everybody unmute yourself and follow me. Follow what I say. Please unmute yourself right now, just to test whether you can hear my instruction. Okay, say yay!
Yay!
Whoa!
Yay!
I can't hear you. Yay!
Ooh.
Okay lah, boleh lah, boleh. Thank you.
Hey. Last time I used to do this
Sorry,
to my
just a
student. Now you're
sound
telling me to
test.
do, huh? Yes, man.
All right. Thank you very much for participating. Now, think of the silence that sometimes exists when we, when we communicate with people. Sometimes we don't speak, we communicate, but there's only silence, right? Remember, just think about how your mother looks at you whenever you are being a naughty boy, like me when I was young. But my mother will always return love for whatever that we do, and it is not verbalized, it's non-verbal. Okay, on one hand, human beings communicate with a lot of noise, and on the other hand, just plain simple silence can get the communication across. My dear participants, my dear friends, I am Yazman, your guide for today in our journey. Welcome to the world of communication. Okay, so now, all right, we are here today for the evolution of communication webinar. I'm Yazman Indi Ismail. All right, can call me Indi, can call me Yazman. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to see all of my friends here. All right, just another administrative announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated at all times during this webinar. Do fasten your seatbelts when the fasten seatbelt light is on. For your information, this is a non-smoking webinar, so do not smoke. You may serve yourself refreshments, as none will be served by me because I can't. All right, we'll be taking a ride across the mist of time to our distant past to see how the human beings communicate in those days. Then we will peer through the fog of the future to see how can we communicate, or how will we be communicating in the future. I wish you a fascinating and exciting journey, and hope that you'll be coming to more programs under my name in the future. All right. No more music, now listen to my voice. Basically, I'll be taking you through the definition and the various types of communication, how it has evolved over the years. And towards the second half of the webinar, which I hope we'll spend more time there, we will be able to identify what caused this evolution in the way we communicate, and how will we continue to evolve in the future. What methods of communication will there be in the future? So what is communication? Look at the simple photo I have there. For me, it's basically, when you talk about communication, it's a process of sending, receiving message, information through verbal and non-verbal means. Right? You look at the lady there. Oh, your food smells so delicious. That's the message given by her as a sender. And look at the receiver, how he understood the message. He said, thank you. But look at her body language. The way her arm is poised with the sudu, like she wants to makan a bit from this guy. Right? And that's non-verbal communication. And the guy was thinking, maybe she wants to try a bite. Being a gentleman, tak payah tanya, just offer her. Try to have a bite. Right. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay. It's a bit more texty. Yeah, it's in writing. Communication is the process of sending and receiving messages through verbal and non-verbal means, including speech, blah, 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 or communication, writing. Oh my God, I can't go through this. It's so taxing. I just feel like I want to fall asleep. Now, let's look at the other one, the next one. It is in the form of kind of boxes, infographic, verbal, non-verbal communication, and it's broken down into written and visualization as well. The main components are verbal and non-verbal. Yeah, but I've broken it down to written and visualization as well, so that you can see there's even more distinct ways that we communicate. Verbal means face-to-face, over the telephone. Yeah. Non-verbal means your body language, your gestures. I think a lot of us are familiar with many types of gestures. It can be rude gestures, polite gestures. Written communication through books, magazines, email, newspapers. There's a lot of ways that we can write and communicate. Visualizations through pictures, graphs, charts, maps. So as you can see, there's a lot of ways that we communicate, right? Now, question time. Which slide communicates the message better? The written message or the smart art? Just want to have a look. Okay, this is a written message or written definition, and this is the one that utilizes smart art. Please write your answers in chat quickly. I just want to see whether we are all in sync with this. Smart art, smart art. Thank you, everybody. Panolita, Rosnita, thank you, Sheila. Excellent. Okay. Anybody that feels the written text communicates better? Is there anybody? Please unmute yourself or forever hold your peace. Okay. All right. I think everybody's in agreement that smart art is better. Because why? Remember the saying, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So one picture can tell you a whole lot more story than one whole book, right? Okay, great. Mr. Smiley is here. If fonts are different, I agree. Maybe how you present it, right? Tengku, better font, bigger fonts, more spacing between, probably. Yeah, I do agree. Thank you. All right. So this is how I'm going to take you through the next hour or so. I've broken it down into 3 stages: ancient times, BC, middle period, the 1st to 19th century, and the modern era. It's not in any scientific document. It's just how I broke it down. Okay, why? Because ancient times you can really see the difference. The middle period, there's nothing much that has happened between the 1st to 19th century, and you can see there's a whole avalanche of new inventions when you touch 20th century onwards. Okay, early communication method. If you look at the top left-hand corner, right, you'll be guided by my writing there, ancient times. Yeah. So as we progress over the years, you'll be guided by that. So have a look at the top left corner. So early communication. Well, one thing I can say is that whatever we see, the types of communication will remain more or less the same, verbal, non-verbal. Yeah? The methods may change, may differ, but the type will be the same. Okay, stone cave painting. Well, it is type of art that people engrave or paint onto the walls, ceilings of caves, and usually implies prehistoric origin and go back as far as 44,000 BC. That's a long time, my friend. And if you can see the second picture at the bottom left-hand corner, some cave paintings are more recent production, replicas, so don't get fooled. Not everything stick painting in caves are made in 30,000 BC. Some can be quite more recent. All right. Hieroglyphs. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with hieroglyphs. It is a character used typically by the Egyptians. As you can see from the hieroglyphic alphabet, you look at A for eagle, B for foot. If I taught this to my son, dulu lah, A is not eagle lah, yeah, A is for apple. But this is how they communicate. They use pictures. They use, basically it's pictorial writing. So it communicates a lot more than simply writing using our modern alphabet. Okay. Now, another test. Quickly, type in chat again. What does this mean? Communication is? Last person, we have to answer the next question. Yes, key, the key. Right? I think it is very, oh yeah, Adira, thank you. Yeah, it's key. I think we can take it, we can simply say that everybody understands what it means. So this is just another way for me to show that pictorial writing, or when you give pictures, graphs, charts, it is a whole lot better than simply communicating via text, right? Okay, look at this one. Next one, smoke signal. One of the oldest forms of long-distance communication. It is a visual form of communication. It uses smoke. Yeah, it doesn't write anything. If you watch the cartoons previously, when I was younger, I used to think, they can actually wave the blanket over the smoke and letters will come out. No, it's just smoke. But the smoke means something. If you look at the picture, what is that guy saying? Him say, him need more beans. You look at the top right-hand corner. No. My interpretation is, yes, that guy is definitely asking for beans. Why? There's smoke coming out of his behind. Beans give you gas. So that's how, you know, okay lah, sorry, back joke. I was thinking whether I should give that joke or not, but basically, they have their own ways, small smoke, big smoke, black smoke, it all means different things. All right, oops, sorry, wrong button. Right. Trivia. What instrument was also used regularly with smoke signals? You can unmute, you don't have to type in. Yeah, Zura, yeah, he's farting, definitely. Calling for tribe to come to eat. Yeah. Okay, what other instrument that usually goes along with the smoke signals? Doom, 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 doom.
Help, asking for help.
Yes, yes, but asking for instrument. What kind of instrument? Yes,
Asking for help.
drums. The rate, okay, sorry, to be politically correct, in Native Americans, they used to use drums a lot. They, in the olden days, the Africans used to communicate via drums a lot. So it is something that I think we still use. It is carried on until the current generation. We still use drums. Yes, Yatika, yes, to ask for help. There are so many messages that you can pass. Even the beat can tell you different meanings, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. I love this part. Carrier pigeons. They are effective. Why? Because they are born with a natural homing ability. Yeah, but that's the main thing that you need to remember. You can't simply release a pigeon into the sky and expect it to go to the direction that you want it to go. Where it is born, you know, if we have a bonding with that place where it stays, you take it to another place and you release the pigeon. It will come home. And it's been in use as far back as the ancient Greeks and the ancient Persians. Yeah. Trivia. You know that the last pigeon post service existed until 2008. Yes, sending love letters. Love letters, huh? If I ask my son, you know, love letters, where got lah nowadays mana ada ni? Insta aja ya. And let everybody know. Okay, anyway, it was used in this place called Kutak or Chutak or Katak, I don't know, but it's in India. And actually, it was closed as recently as 2008. When I researched this, I was like, wow, I did not know it was in use. TikTok, not IG. Yeah, I know. My son is laughing at me since I'm a dinosaur. To be honest, one of the reasons why I'm on PLC, I want to prove him different. And I'm telling him about Zoom, he's just laughing at me. Ayah ni semua mau Zoom. Carrier pigeons are also fondly known as feathernet. It's a spin-off of the internet lah. You just have birds, you have feathers. But it was very interesting fact that I found on the internet. Right. Ancient courier. Human courier, the running man. You've got postal service in Persia. They use horses, carts to basically carry their messages across their from one territory to another. Okay, running man. I want to ask you. This is not the Running Man, the Korean show. Okay, please don't answer me that. Where and what does it refer to? This particular picture, this Running Man 490 BC. Does anybody know?
Marathon.
Oh, Chaya, who said that?
Me.
Pujo.
Yes.
You're the man. Even though you're driving, you're still focused. I am impressed.
No, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay. So yes, it is the marathon incident where what happened was the guy is called, okay, again, I do not know how to pronounce it, Philippides. He ran from Marathon to Athens to deliver the news of the Greek victory at Marathon over the Persians. Wow, interesting. He ran all the way, yeah? And that created a sport. Can anybody tell me what sport is it called? Lah, tak ada, never mind. The marathon run, that's where it came from. Because of this dude who sanggup ran from Marathon to Athens. Okay, interesting. Right, now we are going to the middle period. If you can see at the top left-hand corner, it's now green, it's the middle period, it's the 1st century onwards. Early handwritten books. In the 6th century, people utilized feather and ink to write. Remember in the older movies, you always see people dip the feather into the ink pot and start writing. But, you know, the Etruscan gold book, yeah, it is believed to be the oldest handwritten book in the world, as supposedly it dates back to around 600 BC. That's a long time for a book to be written. You've got the Garima Gospels in Ethiopia, 4th century. Hamadi Library in Egypt, 3rd and 4th century. And interestingly, the oldest Quran, handwritten Quran in the world, the Birmingham Quran manuscript, supposed to be dated back to the 6th century. I'm just curious, why is it called Birmingham? Is it because they keep it there? Maybe lah. Right. Okay, sini ada sedikit mistake. I call the producer. That is my son punya book. It's not supposed to be here. Mr. Producer, can we have the right picture, please? Okay, technical error, guys. Sorry for that. Ini baru betul. Alright, thank you for the applause. Thank you. Everything under control. Yeah, okay. Why I put this on the right hand side, I think is the maybe it's the Bible. On the left is definitely the Quran. But basically, the majority of the written books and documents written in the 7th and 13th century were religious in nature. Because back in those days, not many people could read and write. It is a luxury that normally is reserved for the priesthood, the ulamas, because they learn how to read and write. Secular books spreading knowledge were only produced in the 13th century. So for a long, long time, reading, the simple pleasure of reading is not given to everybody. Yeah? It's not a privilege. All right. Then we have the printing press. Printing press, basically, it was invented in the late 15th century. It uses pre-printed text on blocks so that you have to write things over and over again. And it's allowed for mass printing of books. So the first newspaper that was printed was created in the 17th century called the Gazzetta di Mantova. Yeah, it was published in Mantua, Italy in 1664. And there's a picture of it. I don't know how it survived. Right. And typewriter. I know we all know typewriters. The current generation do not know typewriters, but even the typewriters that we know does not look like the picture there, right? It was first invented in 1714, so that's how a typewriter looked like in those olden days. It only became common more than a century later in the mid 1880s, and that's when people started to mass produce books. They write a lot of articles that could just be typewritten, if not handwritten. And believe it or not, the typewriter actually assisted the Industrial Revolution by allowing people to write manuals, SOP, so that people can basically use in the SOPs. Right. Tora, Karumula, correct, exactly. But you'll be surprised. As you will see as we go along, some of these inventions, they were created in the 18th, 19th century, but they only became real household items in the 20th century. I'll show you what I mean afterwards. Right, telecommunication, telegraph. It was first invented in 1792. And it consists of a series of the Morse code was invented in 1844 by Samuel Morse. He actually made the telegraph famous by inventing the Morse code, and everybody started to use this. I asked my son, dia memang tak tahu lah benda ni. I've seen it before, not being used, of course, it was in the museum, but basically it revolutionized the way we communicated with people from a long distance. As long as the transmitting station is connected to the receiving station by a piece of wire, then electric signals were communicated through this wire, the receiving station. And that's how people started to really get to use telegraphs in the 18th, 19th century. What killed the telegraph? Is the telephone, my friends. It was created in 1876. It further transformed. Thank you, Dr. Pariman. I hope you got the pictures. It took me a long time to get these pictures. It allowed instant communication between users that are far apart. Yes, Alexander, I was about to ask that. Okay, Sheila, I owe you a drink. I tak sempat tanya lagi. Are we communicating telepathically? I don't know. But yeah, Alexander, that was supposed to be my question afterwards. But basically, what happens is that previously people could just send letters, notes, and electronic messages, but this was the first time somebody said hello from this side, and another guy responded with hello from the other side. That was the first time ever. And to me, that's a real revolution in the way that we communicate. All right, radio, Mr. Radio Man. I used to think that I wanted to be a DJ when I grew up because I talk non-stop. And as well as because my mom used to say, you ni cakap banyak, you jadi lawyer boleh? Oh yes, Rosnita. Hey, why is everybody semua? I was about to ask that question also.
Yazman, I was a DJ in RTM.
Wow, teman-teman.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. I remember one of your lectures, you said, call me the party man. So now I know it was from your DJ days.
I was a
DJ
DJ
day,
and also,
DJ days. Yes,
I was a DJ
Rosnita,
and also,
kecil dulu. Kita main telefon guna paper cup. Yes, I told my son about it and he was laughing. He was rolling on the ground. But yeah, that's basically how we used to play around in the olden days, right? And
we also used the matchboxes, you know, Yazman, matchboxes.
Matchboxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Alamak, that was
one.
Before my time, lah, Doc.
We tie the string. Some use the cans, you know.
Okay.
One
Yeah.
One person hold the can here, the other person.
Yes.
So,
cans, paper cups. Wow.
then
Okay.
And
not that young.
tempurung tau.
Tempurung
Pakai
ada.
tempurung. Ya, tempurung
That is,
kecil-kecil tu.
Yazman, you're not that young lah.
Yeah. No, betul. But tempurung interesting, Tengku. I actually tak pernah main tempurung.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Pathapan, you mesti ingat pakai tempurung kan?
Yes.
Lepas tu pergi cari tali and then cakap.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Tempurung, tin kosong.
Tin kosong, tin
Razmi
susu.
also use tempurung. Wow, okay.
Matchboxes. Wah, macam-macam lah.
Macam-macam.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, so all of us except I think Yazman must be very much younger than us lah.
No lah. I mean, you have my cousin here, Adira, all these people, even Azura probably be laughing. They also probably have not seen it.
I think I'm the oldest in the group here. Right.
Okay.
Good, Yazman.
All right.
Good.
Radio. Yeah. You mentioned was basically it wasn't just one person that came up with the radio. It was Yazman is not young. Okay. Thank you, Azura. Yeah, we know that. The invention of the radio was actually built on the work of many different inventors, and the radio that we know came only in the late 19th century, early 20th century. The first ever public broadcast was in 1910 in New York. You look at the picture, you can see on the top left-hand corner the whole radio type of radio. You got the car radio. You got the CB radio or the police radio, and at the top, you know, the mini compo days. We used to put it on our shoulder. Maybe Pujo, you know, you used to do that in the US. You put on some hip hop sound, yes, and do some break dancing. All right, but it has evolved, yeah. It has evolved. Television, late 19th century. Again, it is a series of inventions by a lot of people that finally culminated in the TV that we know now. You look at the top picture. That was what the first TV looked like. And I was wondering, what on earth is that? But ladies and gentlemen, that's the first TV. And in 1930, Charles Jenkins broadcasted the first TV commercial and the BBC began regular TV transmission. So it's really not that far off, 1930. Nearly 100 years lah. Okay lah. Okay, computers. It was built in 1940s. And the first computer was just a simple machine. I couldn't find a picture, but it didn't look like what the pictures that we are used to now. If you look at the top, the black and white picture, basically it was the first modern computer built in the 1940s. They were basically, Helmi video kills the radio star. Bagus. Computers were huge, the size of a room, and they are nowhere near powerful as the laptop that you have in front of you. Believe me, even the iPad is more powerful than the first computer that came out. And the first personal computer, Ponida, I pun sempat tengok black and white. Not many people can say that. 1971, the first time we had the personal computer. I remember it was in 1980s, in my school days, that the PC first came about, using the floppy disk. And the first portable computer laptop, 1975. Right, interesting, huh? I see a lot of people reminiscing about black and white TV. I first had my black color TV, I think when I was in standard 1 or standard 2. No, tak boleh beritahu dah tahun lah. Long time ago. Oh yeah, plastic filter. Back and yes, I remember that. Was a shortcut to getting a color TV. Right, 1957, satellite. I was hoping one of my friends is Zulfikri around. He's a satellite engineer. I don't know whether he had the time to join in, but it was the Soviet first created the Sputnik 1 in 1957. As you can see, was just this strange ball with antenna sticking out of it. And you've got the more modern satellites. And we've got even international space stations out there. For your information, trivia, there are more than about 9,000 satellites and from more than 40 countries launched to date. And in 2018, it was estimated that some 5,000 remain in orbit. Out of 5,000, 1,900 were operational, while the rest have exceeded their useful lives and become space debris. You know, the thing about human being, mankind, not only do we pollute the earth, we are now polluting space. I'm just wondering that one day, you know, don't be surprised, some intergalactic traveler will come and basically just erase us from existence. They might shoot some death ray like the Death Star in Star Wars. And bye-bye, mankind. Bye-bye. You know, we better start thinking about things, you know, pollution on the earth and now space. It's crazy.
Yasman, just before you go, I don't know whether people have heard about a telex machine.
Telex machine, yes?
Yeah,
yes.
I used it.
That's one of our early communication. I started working in Unilever. We communicated with our headquarters. That was more difficult because the words will be very they call shorthand writing.
Right.
Only those with experience will understand what they're trying to say, you know. And to countries like we used to deal with Nigeria those days, we had Unilever in Nigeria. So difficult to communicate with them. So telex was one of the communication methods we used.
I do really appreciate and I really welcome all this contribution because I've actually had to delete a lot of pictures on a lot of other inventions because we just don't have time. But it's good that I was hoping for this kind of feedback from the crowd so we can share. Yeah, it is not possible to put everything on my slide. Okay, this is the big one. Who invented the internet? It was way back in the late 60s. ARPANET was created and funded by the US Department. And basically it allowed people to communicate on a single network. Now, I just have a question. Who can tell me what happened? What was going on in the world during that time that spurred the creation of the ARPANET, which led to the creation of the internet? Late 60s, early 70s. Can anybody just tell me? Azra, can something say?
Was it during the Egyptian-Israeli war, where they had used internet to communicate with one another? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was during that time that they had, I think they had the technology, but this is the first time that they had actually used it during the war against Egypt, between Israel and Egypt, and US was helping Israel out.
All right. Thank you for the feedback. It is, I give you 6/10, boleh ya? I have never graded a lecturer before. Woo, time for everything. Okay, you are right. You're on the correct path. But basically, it was the Cold War. Yeah, the West against communism. That triggered a lot of these spy movies. People were trying to go and find secrets from one another. It was basically East against West. The Soviets against the Western civilization. So that was basically why the US Department funded ARPANET. Okay, yes, and of course wars were related to that, all those wars. Okay, internet, the modern internet. I think, what is there that I can say about the internet? You got smartphones, you got laptops, personal computers, even printers are connected to the internet. TVs, you have smart TVs, you have servers connected to the internet. Everything is on the internet and it's now even cloud-based. It's not even physical in the sense. You know, you've got digital banks coming up. You can't even see the bank. You can even queue at the bank, right? It's very, very interesting. It's sometimes I find that it's a bit scary that we are heading in the direction that we don't know where we're going to end up. But that's the nature of humankind, right? Right. And with the internet, what came about? Social media. You look on the left-hand side, we can use social media to publish things, share documents, discuss networking. We have Facebook, Google, Twitter. Okay, that's how the Americans. Azura, seprono kita, Twitter.
Twitter.
So you got MySpace, Quora. My God, I don't even know some of these things exist until I did my research. I mean, Tengku Sheila, Dr. Pati, my time, kita hantar surat cinta. You know, that's intercepted by the mother or the girl or the boy. Habis koyak the surat, bye-bye. Now you got so many things. Instagram. My son says, yeah, nobody uses Facebook anymore.
You know what, Yazman, my daughter kata, you write letters to your boyfriend? Oh my God, itu lame-nya. Just imagine.
Tell her that's how mom met dad, you know. Back to the future kind of thing. Mom did not meet dad, you won't be here, you know. It's very interesting. But Facebook has over 2 billion users. My God. I'm going to show this to my son. Because he kept on saying, you know, apa ada Instagram lah, semua Instagram. You see, Instagram bawah situ 1 billion only. Apa Facebook trumps Instagram. But basically they're on the same, they're owned by the same company, right? Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, but you know, creating a whole lot of new billionaires out there. All right, okay, shall move on. It is a quick timeline to show you how we have progressed from the first postal system to 2400 to 3000 BC. We've moved on, and it's only in the later years, the 19th, 20th, 21st century, that you see this whole explosion of inventions and creations coming onto the net, coming into your life, not onto the net. Yeah, but everything is so dependent on the internet nowadays. You can't live without it. Okay. We've done with the pictures. We've done with the time traveling. Now we have the next, I think, about 15, 16 minutes to discuss. What are the factors that you think has affected or has caused this evolution in communication? I think one of it, like Azura has mentioned, I elaborated a bit, it's about warfare. Yeah, wars, cold wars between nations. It sort of spawned off this kind of invention. What else do you think might be out there that caused this? You can either write it in the chat kalau malu nak bersuara, or you can just unmute and just verbalize it. Human needs, yeah, agreed. Human needs, human beings are hungry for everything. Yeah, the need, the insatiable need for human beings to have 1,001 things. It's never enough. Yeah? Just let me share with you and see whether you agree with me. In ancient times, this is how I see it. In ancient times, people used to use whatever that was available, made available by nature. You know, we use birds, horses, or we even ran from one place to another to communicate. But as we evolve towards the later centuries, you can see instead of using natural things in the Middle Ages, for example, the rise of the European civilization, the superpowers, Portugal, England, Holland, France, this spurred a whole new wave of evolution in communication. It led to the Industrial Revolution. And the moment Industrial Revolution happened, it basically changed our society from a handicraft, agricultural society or economy to one that is based on manufacturing.
Industry.
Yes. Industries like industrialization.
Industry. Yeah.
The needs for the industry, manufacturing, building things, that really spurred on a whole lot of changes in the late 19th to 20th century. Basically, this is how I coin it. From just being a simple user in the olden days, we have become creators or inventors, and we create things to help us communicate. From simply using smoke, drums that are available, made available by nature, you know. So we have changed a lot. All right. How have you been affected personally by COVID-19? Or maybe you want to comment about how do you think society has been affected? Take 2 minutes and jot down in chat what you think the answer is. Or if you are too lazy to, or you don't have time to write it down, you can verbalize. I'm giving you about 2 minutes. Background music kasih suspense sikit. What do you think? How have you been affected by COVID-19? How do you think society has been affected?
I think a lot of people have gained weight, Yazman.
Or you have not been affected at all? Mana tahu? I would like to know on which planet you are living on.
Contrary, Azura, I lost a lot of weight.
Very good. How did you do it? How do you have to tell me your secret if there is a secret?
Yeah, because of many
Face-to-face round
calls and all that.
discussion. More family time. That's a positive
That's
effect.
right.
Growth.
It's actually less family time. I haven't seen my brother since last year.
Are you Malaysian or Indonesian?
Right? Yeah, slightly less than
I am both
Guys,
Malaysian
come on,
and
come on.
Indonesian.
What do you think?
Less F2F, right?
Less face-to-face. Yeah, I think the trainers, the lecturers will say that work and play, connection physically. Yeah, that's true. I think over the last 1 year, I've only seen my mother once or twice. Online purchasing,
mother-
that's true. There's, I think, billions now going to online purchasing.
Yep.
Tengku Sheila, I think all of us share the same feeling. We miss our family members.
Me too. First time coming virtual training. You know, I thought always face to face is
personally,
more,
a lot more time.
effective.
Yep. Okay. I think we can sum it up by saying basically less physical contact. There's no face-to-face, hardly any face-to-face communication or training, less income. But on the flip side, on the positive side, you have positives, yeah? You get more time with your family. You can't go out. I remember I was playing board game with my family. And we have not done that I really can't remember when was the last time I played board games with them. And I think that shows whatever happens to us, it is how we see it, how we perceive it. If it's a negative view, it will be negative. If it's positive, it will be a positive thing for you. Husband and kids, not my mom. Okay. Learning new things, yeah, of course. Some people, to do this online program, I've had arguments from people saying that, it's a fad, it's a craze, it will be gone. But I do believe it's going to be here to stay. Maybe Abang Budu, what do you think? Abang Badrul, you're a lecturer. What do you think? Is it here to stay, online classes?
Malu lah.
Come in, Abang Budu. If not, maybe Dr. Pateh.
Yes. I think it will stay on lah.
Stay on.
Yeah. Even you look at it,
okay.
most people now becoming lazy, so they sit and read online as and when they feel.
Okay.
People feel they can't sit for you even in the class, I'm sure you know, after 1 hour, people become lazy, they go for smoking here and there,
Right.
So online,
Right.
I think it'll be more effective. Only thing that you can't get personal touch, you can't get the real expression of the trainer. I do a lot of calculation, in my procurement or in my inventory management. You can't just teach online. That's face-to-face become more effective.
Right.
But
right.
Online will stay on. There's no denying about it. Whether people like it or not, it will stay on.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Pateh. I think Puan Nolida also in agreement with you. There are many ways to teach, right? Sorry, who's that?
Yeah. That's me. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
But online is here to stay. What Taylor's is trying to do now is on a hybrid mode. So, on certain days, it's because if it's online, like what Doctor mentioned just now, there's no personal touch, especially more so when you talk about in an academic institution, there's, the old-fashioned face-to-face is still the best.
Yeah,
right.
However, we have to go along with technology. because like you have the Gen Y and so you have the Gen Z, and definitely they are more technology prone as compared to us, Dr. Patapan. Right?
I fully agree. I fully agree.
Yeah. So hybrid will be more like it.
But one way, to make them committed is face to face, lah. Lately, I read one of the Facebook message by one of the SPM boys, where the teachers they just don't teach. They either they don't have the technology or they don't feel like teaching. They ask the students to go on their own and read, come back. So a few of them in the Facebook yesterday requested the SPM to be postponed. They're not prepared. So this virtual training, lecturing will not give the full impact of the real class teaching for students or like industry-based people.
Right.
I mean, this is my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Honestly, nobody was ready for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are not prepared.
Yes.
Okay. And institution like Taylor's, okay, though we have Zoom, we have Teams, okay, yeah, we have the technology, but like baby boomers like us, okay, we have to learn this, and it took time.
Right.
Okay. And like it initially when I first started teaching online, I feel crazy in the sense like it's like insane talking to the computer.
Exactly.
Okay.
True.
And when you ask like students to participate, in fact, like today's session, it's very like very interactive. But can you imagine the students? Like like I know for the fact that some of them just on their computer or their mobile, but they are not there.
Yes, that's a trick used by my son all the time.
Yes. So that's the thing that we are facing right now.
Okay. I'm sorry to have to stop you, but we have to go to the last part of this webinar. What's next? As you can see, I'm at the top there on the left-hand side, looking down for text. I cannot teropong and see what's going to happen in the future. So, but I hope, I can see I'm trying to teropong now, cannot see. But I hope you can help me on this matter. Okay, what do you see here? What type of communication do you see?
Telepathy.
Telepathy, betul. B, what is B?
B is science fiction.
No, wrong answer.
Hologram.
Hologram. Jawab sudah ada.
No, when they first created Star Wars, hologram wasn't there yet.
And C is virtual technology. Things just appear in front of you and you start to tap imaginary keyboards and all that. I think it's amazing. Telepathy, I don't know. Professor Xavier, macam sakit kepala pun ada. Can somebody give him Panadol?
C reminds me of Iron Man.
Yes, true.
No, CSI.
Tak ada rasa lah, no feel already lah.
No feel already.
Okay, we are going to watch this video. So please pay attention to the video because it brings you future technologies by 2030. It's not that far off. And I want you to pick one of this technology and talk about it and see how you feel it will affect our future communication. So just have a look.
Can you switch on your audio, please?
Yeah, we can't hear.
Yazman, no audio, Yazman. Share your audio.
Yeah. You
Stop
can't hear.
sharing and tick the box below.
Sorry, tak dengar.
There's a box below. There's a box on your browser too.
Bottom
on the left side, you tick it first.
Not this one.
Before you share.
Before you share,
Yazman, we cannot hear the sound.
On the bottom left, Yazman.
Press share screen. Kita bersabar tuan-tuan puan. Pujo. Yeah, just talk me through.
Yes. Press share screen, and then on the left, you've got audio, right?
Yeah. Share sound.
Left, there's two.
Share sound. Yes, share sound. You've got it.
Click
okay.
The
thank
left
you,
one.
bro.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Boleh dengar? Now gambar macam ni pula.
Play. Click 36.
Sorry, play 36.
Click on 36. It'll play the video. Double click.
Click your slide 36.
Yes, your slide 36.
Should I click?
Tak. You have not.
Yeah, sorry. Biasalah, masa practice run tak ada apa-apa kan.
Okay, cancel your screen share.
Sorry.
Cancel your screen share. Stop sharing your screen. And then share screen. Yes. Share sound and play your video.
Share sound and the share screen.
When you
click share sound,
screen,
it is there.
Yeah, so you click it and then you just play the video. From
share
your
again?
Yes. Okay, click.
Okay. Lama lah pula.
Better to do on presentation mode.
Presentation mode.
Yeah, try to click on the presentation. Dia tak nak keluar presentation.
It's okay. Murphy in the house.
Ya, biasalah dia orang ni. Saja nak test. I cool je. Teruk dia orang ni kan. Okay, anyway, what I wanted to share with you, I just elaborate. There are some things that in the future will be here and you can't run away from it. Artificial intelligence, the internet, robots. So let's focus on, I think, the internet. Just let's talk about that. How do you think it will affect future communication? You can just write down or you can just share your feelings or your thoughts. Right?
Much more advanced lah.
Sorry?
Much more advanced because you have the AI, you have got robotics.
Yeah, how will it affect our way of communication?
It'll be key to the communication activities law.
Right, okay.
The speed of communication will be much better.
Be short, precise.
Well,
Short,
there are some expectations that
no emotion.
What about if internet becomes a basic right? So everybody has internet. What do you think will happen then? The way I see, you see people walking around. Kalau dulu people would say orang tu gila, but you see people talking either to their finger, to their hand, to God knows what available gadgets out there, and they are actually
embedded.
Yeah, it's embedded. Yes, that's the word I was trying to find. It's embedded in their lips or whatever, and you can talk to people halfway across the world. And
it already started, in fact.
It has? Oh, interesting.
Yes, there's already R&D. You put a microchip.
Oh, okay. What about when you are connected to the internet, in terms of, I don't know whether there's a marketing expert, how do you think future companies will market the products? Because if it's things are embedded, you can embed chips into your shirt, your shoes, your whatever that things that you buy, your consumer goods. And what about personal data privacy? Because the manufacturer will be able to get access to your pattern, you know, how you wear, when you wear, how often do you wear those type of clothes. I stopped sharing, we just stop for now. That was the last slide. Last slide lah pula nak jam.
I think the issue will be privacy lah.
Okay, in what way?
Right? Yeah,
and
because
personal data lah, privacy and personal data.
Privacy of personal data, which needs to be controlled very, very seriously.
They know your account number,
exactly.
Bank account number, you know,
right?
What you hold. They know, they will know everything A to Z lah. That will become a hindrance to people's life.
Right. Interesting.
The scam
they know
will
where
get
you are.
worse. Yeah,
even now your Facebook can be hacked people sending now, they're sending like messages to my friends, asking them to invest. So everybody calling me and asking me, what is new scheme of what are you investing, you know? So imagine, that can become
basically
very,
a new scam method. It's a communication.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But
That
for
can
scam
create a
purposes.
lot of human stress also.
Yes. Anyway, we have, I think, slightly more like just 1 minute left. How about those who have not spoken? Moon Mansur, Hakimi Haris, Wan Zafri. Come on, guys. I'm recording, so boleh record.
Can I share one joke on this communication, Yazman?
Please. We are towards the end already.
Real case. This happened many years, 1974. There was one HR manager by the name of Isa, and there was one marketing sales manager by the name Abu Bakar. You know, so Abu Bakar office was a different place, and the HR office was a different place. So Isa called one old man, you know, Pakcik Hamid. Pakcik Hamid, tolong ambil file ini, kasih Bakar.
Okay.
So you know what happened, lah. Actually, the he meant was to give it to Encik Abu Bakar, but the old man burned the whole thing, kasih Bakar.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah. So communication must be properly communicated, lah.
Wah, sekarang baru keluar ni lagu. Basically, that song it was supposed to come towards the end, the last 1 minute. I just would like to take this opportunity to say thank you, everybody. Apologies for the glitches, but hey,
no, it's okay.
Murphy's Law.
Good
Mesti
session,
lepak
Yazman.
tepi air. Tapi like we are happy. I hope you enjoyed the whole session.
Well done, bro. Well done.
Well done.
Well done,
Please come to my future class. Don't worry,
man.
glitches will not happen again. Inshallah.
Yazman, do you forward this?
You want?
Yazman, do you
Thank
forward
you so
this?
much to Dr. Fatih, Nolida, my lecturers, Abang Budu, my former staffs, my friends, Wan Zafri, Helmi, thank you so much. Moon Mansur, Katika, I'm not sure who you are, but thank you. Hakimi baru nak
thank you,
on.
Yazman.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I hope you had fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best.
Again, apologies for anything yang shortcoming. Yeah.
Good luck,
I hope to
Azman.
see you again in the future. Please keep in touch.
Yes.
Please keep on
Sure.
communicating. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good job.